If there's one thing this team has been lacking, it's a bit of experience, particularly at the back of the park. So we decided to sign a man who needs no further introduction, and he goes by the name of Phil Jones. He'll be coming in on a free at the start of next season. Now, there are only a couple other noteworthy things that we did this January transfer window. The first of them, though, was signing this youth academy goalkeeper. He goes by the name of Sean Wallace. He's just going to add a little bit of depth to that goalkeeping department, which we didn't really have before. And the final thing we did this January window was we signed Josh Onema on a free just to add a little bit of depth to that center of the park. He's not really going to be a starter for us, but we're putting all of our chips on the table for getting promoted next season, so we're going to need some depth. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. First game was Blackburn Rovers at home. We're not really planning on getting promoted this season, but we're still going to give it our best possible go. This was a big one because they were pretty high up in the table as well. It would get off to a terrible start, though. Gallagher finds his man out wide there. They were cutting us open like we were on a date with Jeffrey Dahmer. Hurst finishes the chance off. It was 1-0. And it only got worse from there. 25 minutes in, it finds Arthur. Arthur finds Hurst again. On the rebound, he makes it 2-0. And if you thought that was bad, just wait until you find out that they would go and get a third. We were 3-0 down before the halftime whistle even blew. We were down horrendously and we needed a lifeline. We thought we had gotten one here through Jordan Marks, but spoiler alert, he was offside. The goal did not count. We were still down 3-0. We would pretty quickly receive that lifeline, though. Bennett finds the ball through to Marks, and only one thing was going to happen there. Jordan Marks with the finish. 3-1, we were back in it. Just as soon as we received that lifeline, though, we would flatline once again. Artur finds space in the box, and it is back to a 3-goal deficit. We're down 4-1. We would give ourselves a bit of false hope here, as Obando, who I forgot to mention, I signed on loan because we lost Diallo there. He finds Marks, practically identical finish. It's 4-2. Of course, though, they refuse to let us end on a high. The ball finds its way to Hurst, who gets his hat trick, and the game would finish 5-2. Horrible way to start off the new year. Needed to have short-term memory here, though, because it was an even bigger game. Next one up was against Watford once again here at the Stadium of Light. Pretty much straight from kickoff, though, they would give us a gift immediately into the game. Lauzako straight through the back of Ba, and it is a straight red card. And just as quickly as they went down a man, they went down a goal as well. Bennett finds Ba, who finds Marks, and you know the rest. It's 1-0. We were so unlucky not to get a second goal here. Bennett finds the ball through to Roberts. Roberts one-on-one. He goes for the dink. And oh my god, it's off the bar and off the post and out. In a game that lacked chances, we knew we had to take ours. And look at this from Roberts. He lays his life out on the line. It's 2-0. We had a very good chance to make it 3 as well. Marks plays it out wide to Obando, and Obando smacks the woodwork. Very unlucky there. And Watford didn't really create much, but they would get a chance here. Sarr finds the ball through to Davis, but Patterson makes a really good save to keep it at 2-0. And 2-0 is how it would finish. 3 points and a very rare clean sheet. We'll take that every single day. It only gets tougher, though. Next up, we had Burnley, who at this point were running away with the championship title. They looked firm favorites at this point to go up with the championship title as well. Very early on, they would show us why they were dominating the championship. It was a scummy, scummy goal from a short corner. Rodriguez finishes. It's 1-0. You have no idea how pissed off I was to concede that goal, but we talked about having short-term memory, and we certainly did here. Roberts finishes with his weak foot. It's 1-1. It wouldn't take us long to take the lead either. Dale Fry goes up for the corner. It is 2-1. If you thought the goals would end there, then you simply have not played FIFA 23. Moreno plays a ball through to Rodriguez. Rodriguez bruises the net with that finish. Beautiful goal, 2-2. It was scary hours now because Burnley could smell blood in the water. They worked this one very, very well until it eventually finds its way to you-know-who. Rodriguez with the hat trick. It's 3-2. Now, Burnley smelled blood, but we are sharks as well. Jordan Marks plays the ball over the top. Ross Stewart brings it down. Stewart with the finish. It's 3-3 in the 84th minute. But how quickly things can change. Ross Stewart from hero to zero. He gets a golden opportunity here to put the game to bed. And oh, he just whiffs it. And just to add insult to injury, Jay Rodriguez off the rebound gets his and Burnley's fourth. And in that moment, I knew exactly what it felt like to get your heart ripped out of your chest, stomped on, and spat on, and then thrown in a fire and pissed on. Not gonna lie, after that one, I felt like simply retiring from FIFA. I was very close from just completely deleting the game off of my PlayStation 5. But nevertheless, we continue. Sheffield United up next. I tell you what though, when you need a hero, when you need somebody to lift you out of the pits of despair, you simply just have to turn to the GOAT. He makes a great tackle here, Jack Clark finds him again, and it's 1-0. Turned out to be the most boring game of all time though. We would get a nice little team goal here as Bennett finds Pritchard, who gets a rare chance to play. He finds the ball through to Marks, and you know what he does. It's 2-0, but we expected this. And at this point, Sheffield had simply fallen asleep. Ba gets on a nice little solo run here. He finds it into Marks. Marks with way too much time and space. He gets his hat trick. We get our third. It's 3-0. We were so glad to hear the final whistle here. 3-0 the final score, but it was a horrible, horrible game. Next up was West Brom away at the Hawthorns, and if you were looking for a boring game, which I'm not really sure why you'd be looking for that, this simply was not it. Immediately into the game, we would get started off with an absolute piss missile of a goal. Look at this from Dan Neal. From about 25 yards out, he simply pisses this one into the back of the net. Keeper had no chance. It's 1-0. Wouldn't take long for West Brom to cause some carnage, though. I'm not sure why I went in here. He was always getting the shot away, but Michael Ballard gets an early shower, straight red card. We deserve to concede from this one, to be honest. Patterson gets too cocky. It's 1-1. I was absolutely livid about this one here. Look at this. How on earth was this not a foul? I thought this could have been a red card, because look at this. He goes straight through him. None of the ball. No foul given. We would not revel in our misfortunes for very long though, as Jack Clark slips the ball through. Marks 1v1 makes it 2-1. The 10 men of Sunderland are up again. You know what they say though, pressure bursts pipes. First, Grant with the effort off the post here, and eventually they would make us pay. The power shot, beautiful goal to make it 2-2. They were really starting to make the pressure count here. First, this rebound goal to make it 3-2, and then the former Orlando City man, Daryl DK here, makes it 4-2. Game was pretty much over at that point. If you thought we wouldn't concede a scummy corner though, you would be wrong. We failed to clear it, and it's 5-2. I hate this game so much. We would eventually find a third goal. Marks with a nice volley. It's 5-3. I can't believe this game sometimes. 5-3 the final score. Word is getting out around the championship that if you play against Sunderland, expect to score a frickin' hat-trick. Next up was Preston, and at this point, promotion seemed like something you would only dream up if you smoked a bunch of crack before bed and you had a fever at the same time. Early goals in FIFA though is like Mariah Carey in December. It is simply inevitable. We were lucky not to concede an early goal ourselves here, as Patterson makes a really great save to keep it at 1-0, and then immediately up at the other end, Marks waits for the right run. It's Boss slipped through, 1v1, bang, 2-0. I don't know what it is with this team, man. We either play like 2015 Barcelona or we play like we're just trying to get relegated right back to League One. Marks misses, but it's Clark to clean it up. It is 3-0 before halftime. It was like Preston sent the U18s out to play today. This time it's Clark to slip the through ball to Marks. Marks gets it back onto his right foot. He finishes. It's 4-0 right after halftime. At this point, I was just trying to see what I could pull off. Neal and Clark play a little 1-2 here. Neal goes for the power shot. I thought for sure that was going in. It got to the point where we were trying Olympicos and failing miserably just to make the game a little bit more interesting. I almost didn't even feel like showing you guys this goal. Marks just walks right past his defender to make it 5-0, and thankfully the tragic game was over. Final game of the season meant pretty much nothing. Only reason we played it was because Jordan Marks was in the hunt for the golden boot. He needed at least 2 to guarantee it and 3 to secure it. And very, very early on, he would prove just how bad he wanted it. Plays it to Roberts. Roberts gives it right back to him, and he gets that early goal that he wanted. Not too long after, Marks would go and get his 27th goal of the season. Pritchard feeds a nice ball over the top to him. He does really well here to finish it off. And at this point, you're thinking, surely, Surely he's going to go and get his hat trick and get his 28th and secure the golden boot. No. The only thing that would happen for the rest of the game is Wigan would go and get a goal back, but it would finish at 2-1. Marks would finish with 27 goals. That is the season done. Let's take a look at how things finished up. Well, have a look at that then. Jordan Marks finishes joint leading scorer in a three-way tie with Carlin Grant and Jay Rodriguez. 27 goals in 40 matches for him. 5 and 6 less than his opponents, though. Pretty crazy stuff. Jack Clark finishes as the leading assist maker. You love to see that as well. Jordan Marks up there as well at 10. That means he had 37 goal contributions in 40 matches this season. Absolutely ridiculous for an 18-year-old just out of the youth academy. And then in terms of the Golden Glove race, yeah, we were nowhere near it. Didn't expect us to be. Our defense was just horrible this season, which is crazy because that's where our highest overalls are at. Maybe we need to look into a new goalkeeper next season, but remains to be seen. And looking at the final results of the league table, we finish in 10th, which is a little bit disappointing. I was kind of hoping we could be in one of those playoff promotion spots by the end of the season, but based on results towards the end of it and how inconsistent we were, not really too surprised that we weren't fighting for it. You can see that what the problem is if you're looking there at the amount of goals we scored compared to how many we conceded. There's a pretty obvious problem here, but we're going to work on fixing that next season. We were 13 points off of a playoff promotion spot. I was hoping we could be a little bit closer than that, but we satisfied the board. They wanted us to finish mid-table. We did a little bit better than expectation. In terms of promotions, you have Burnley winning the league in an absolute rout. They were 18 points clear of their next closest opponents. Only lost 4 times all season. Congratulations to Burnley. And then you have Norwich City going up with them as well. And then the third team going up will be one of Watford, Luton Town, West Brom, or Sheffield United. And then going down this season, you have Wigan Athletic, Rotherham, and Blackpool. You might have to raid them. There's a player on one of those 3 teams. I won't reveal who yet, but there's a player on one of those 3 teams that I'm quite interested in. But that is going to do it. We finished in 10th place for the season. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you are excited for Season 2. I have a very, very big signing plan for the start of next episode, so please be sure not to miss that. Put the post noties on, like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the drill. You guys have a great rest of your day.